finally, we're getting some totally spooky autumn weather. Finally, after like 2 months of no rain, bright sunshine every day, above average temperatures throughout the New England area, not just in Boston, we're finally getting some spookiness. I love this. There's a nor'easter scheduled for Boston sometime this evening. I haven't seen much of the nor'easter aside from some strong winds this afternoon when I went out to grab some items at the store in Back Bay, and then came back and the winds had kind of slowed down and there was a little bit of rain falling. Now it doesn't seem to be doing very much, but I got my supplies that I needed for the next day and a half or so. I think I can survive without having to go to the store again for another day and a half. And I can at least get stuff done this evening without having to worry about running out to the store and getting what I need. Over the last few days, there have been almost a constant patrol of screaming, shouting, low-life scumbags out on the sidewalks below my windows. And this has been going on almost like 24/7. They're out there until like 9, 10 p.m., sometimes 11 p.m., standing on the street corners and sidewalks across from this building and just shouting and getting disruptive. And then it starts again early in the morning. And this afternoon, I couldn't go to the store across the street because, once again, there were some really creepy, disruptive, aggressive males shouting constantly across from these windows on the sidewalk below, which is a public sidewalk, and they don't have the right to camp out there for hours at a time, but they do anyway. So, what you do when these lowlifes are clogging the sidewalks, you just go in the other direction and then take public transportation into downtown. Ironically enough, the trains are not running this afternoon. I had to take the bus. And when I got back from shopping in Back Bay, there was a group of lowlife scum from this building standing at the bus stop. And they were not actually trying to take the bus because I was on the outbound bus. They were standing on the outbound side of the street in front of the bus stop, and they did not get on the bus. They harassed me as I got off the bus and then started harassing me again when I stopped quickly into the store across the street to grab a few items. All of a sudden, there was like half a dozen low-life scumbags from this building getting really disruptive, aggressive, and clustering around the entrance doorway to the store across the street as I was in the store across the street. It's basically like a hate stalking, siege-like situation. But the funny thing is, they're just wasting their time because I still managed to get what I needed. I did not interact with them in any way because I never do. The people at the store across the street are fairly good about keeping the doorway clear so that you don't have to squeeze past these lowlifes when they're trying to block the doorway. And I'm now enjoying a nice, cozy evening with good food and some supplies that I needed and nice music. And I'm just going to hunker down and enjoy the storm. It's maybe in the low 50s outside right now and fairly windy, so I have the fire going. This is my fireplace, and because the Greenville Group does not provide heat in this unit, not even when it's 10 degrees outside, this is my only source of heat in this unit right now. There are also rodents in this unit, so I have to bag up all of my snacks, food, and anything that they could possibly try to eat, such as cereal. I have boxes of cereal up here in this bag right here so that the mice don't get to it, although they probably can. I mean, mice can crawl up curtains and walls and things like that. They're pretty nimble. And they tend to get to stuff no matter where you hide it from them. A little bit like the hate-stalking psychopath who keeps managing to get into this unit when I'm down the hall for a couple of minutes. She seems to manage to vandalize and get into my food supply as well. But then she puts some really nasty stuff in my food that has nothing to do with mice and everything to do with some pretty toxic chemical nastiness that she has admitted to doing and putting into my food for years, bragging that she takes 1 stick of butter but not 2, and then asking me why did she take 1 stick of butter and not 2. I mean, this is the Greenville Group's paid, sponsored, career criminal, professional harasser named Jasmine Irizarry who keeps getting into this unit along with the rodents. And so between the rodents and the professional harasser who's been doing this to my food for years, I have to tape up and bag up all of my food items, right? Such as the grapes that are in here. Somebody managed to get into the grapes, even though I literally tied them up into this bag last week when I purchased them. So now I have to throw out these grapes because they are too fouled up to eat, even though I barely touched them. And they were in my fridge pretty much the whole time. But again, people can really try to ruin your peace and steal what you have, but they're never going to really succeed because they're on the outside looking in and they're trying to get at what you have, and what you have is already yours. You just get more of it when it gets taken or vandalized. I've actually done some cleaning and organizing, and I have some work to do this evening, along with filing complaints again to the Greenville Group and their attorneys regarding the fact that I can't use the water to this tap, that Jasmine Irizarry has been resuming her use of a directed energy weapon pretty intensely over the last day and a half. While I've been trying to get work done on my computer, the Wi-Fi stopped working. I wasn't able to use my computer because it was messed with. The screen was all white. So there have been ongoing technical issues in this unit, courtesy of the Greenville Group's hacker. That Oleg Eliseyev, the property manager, bragged as such a talented hacker. She can hack into anything. She can get into anything, according to his direct quote to me when I brought concerns about the deliberate interference and hacking of my devices to his attention. He told me, oh, Jasmine Irizarry, she's such a talented hacker. She can get into anything. So are you going to do anything about it? Are you going to continue to permit her to do this, Mr. Eliseyev? And of course, it continues to happen because Mr. Eliseyev is the one who is sponsoring the hacker who interferes with the functioning of my electronic devices. When I try to do anything on those electronic devices that could possibly bring me income or also has something to do with taking action against the Greenville Group or paying my rent. So interestingly enough, when I do try to pay my rent and I'm in the privacy of this unit, whoever has hacked and accessed my devices knows what I'm trying to do. And there's suddenly a very convenient electronic malfunction, either with the Wi-Fi or with the device that I'm trying to use to pay the rent electronically, using the Greenville Group's rental payment platform called rentroom.com. It is a joke. It doesn't work even on a good day. And then when you've got the hacker named Jasmine Irizarry of the Greenville Group deliberately interfering with the functioning of my devices at the moment that I happen to be trying to pay the rent to the Greenville Group, then you know who's responsible. Other than that, I'm going to have a great evening. It's a cozy, neater environment. I did not clean it. I have to sweep. I do have some cleaning to do, but at least it's neat. So it looks decent on the surface, and I'm just going to enjoy, regardless of who is slamming and banging things against the walls or smoking in the bathroom behind this wall or screaming and shouting out on the street or using a directed energy device to electronically assault me when I lie on my bed or contaminating the tap water so that it smells foul when I try to fill up water bottles, which I am never able to do because, again, there are surveillance devices being used in this unit by Oleg Eliseyev and other property managers of the Greenville Group. Apparently, they think that what is legal in Russia is also legal here. And no, it is not legal in the United States to use surveillance devices in someone's living space, but they continue to do that anyway. And then I get aggressively harassed based on what I try to do in the privacy of this living space, including just using the water for filling water bottles. And that's when the water suddenly starts to stink really nasty. Has nothing to do with anything that I have around my sink, because as you can see, there's really nothing around the sink that could be causing such a foul stench as it comes out of that tap water that I cannot use that water for any purpose or any reason at all. That's why I have to now start filing complaints against the Greenville Group because they've been notified, I don't know how many dozens of times over the last few years regarding the safety and the usability of the tap water as it comes out of that tap. And also as it comes out of the shower when I'm trying to shower, and they do nothing about it. But they know that this is being done because it is occurring within their plumbing system and on the premises of their property that they own and that they have direct and complete authority and dominion over, right? So if the water to the Greenville Group's taps stinks foul because they are doing something to it, then that is their direct responsibility. It has nothing to do with the Boston Water Authority or the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority. It is the Greenville Group's responsibility to ensure that their plumbing system is safe and functional and delivers clean, fresh tap water to the taps of each of the units that people pay money for. But they're not doing that.